We're going to be talking today on how to do the at-home test that you probably already received over the mail in an envelope similar to this. So by now you already know how to log into the website that the government set up for you to receive your at-home test free of charge. And I already went to my mailbox and I'm ready to do my at-home test. We need to sit down, clean our surface, and the first thing that we're going to be doing is either washing our hands or we're going to put some sanitizer. It is very important, so this way we continue with that good habit about washing our hands and keep that hygiene properly done also at home. In each box we're going to be having two tests, as we can see. The set of instructions, each one is going to have the swab and the solution that we're going to be putting in the swab after we collect the sample. So what do we need to do? We're going to be saving one of the tests for another time, maybe in a few days, especially if you've been exposed and have no symptoms. You can do the second test 2 or 3 days later, or anytime if you develop any symptoms. It's important to know that any symptom can be runny nose, can be sore throat, can be headache, anything like that. The paper contains a set of instructions and information, and even you can download another video that you're going to be able to see if you download the QR code that is here in the instructions. Also, you can register in the app. One side is going to have another set of instructions, and the other side is going to be a lot of information. It's going to be extremely easy, but there's very few things that I need for you to remember and not do it backwards. One of those is how you're going to be handling the swab. The swab is important to know that you need to grab it from the other end that doesn't have the little cushiony thing. The package is going to be a lot easier to open on that side, as I'm showing you, and it's not going to be very easy to open in this other side. Don't try to force it, don't try to cut it, because if you grab the swab from the other end, you're going to be contaminating the swab, and then you can have some different results than what we want to have. So what we're going to be doing is that we can open our test and set it on the table. This solution will open in just a little bit, but if you notice, it has two parts, one that is orange and one that is a cap that we're going to be explaining what we're going to be using those. We'll leave it here for a little bit. Now, when we're ready to take the sample, we're going to be opening the package of the swab, and here it has the swab, which we're going to be carefully removing, making sure that we're grabbing from the other end again, not from the swab part, but from the other side. And when we're done, we're going to take the sample. Be ready. We all cry, but that's okay. And we're going to be putting it like this on the upper part of the nose, and we're going to roll it in or circling 5 times is fine in each side. Once we have it, sorry, after the cry, then we open the orange cap. The orange cap is going to be open, and it's going to have this big opening where we're going to be putting the sample that we collected with the swab. We need to swirl, make sure that we get everything that we got out of our noses, and put it here. 15 times is appropriate, and that's what the instructions say. And then we're going to squeeze the swab so we can get all the sample out onto the solution, and we're going to leave the swab there. Once we have the solution with the sample, then we close it, and we can close it tight. And as we see, we have the solution that we had initially, but we already put the sample that we collected. And what we need to do now is that we're going to be putting 3 drops. And now we're going to unscrew the upper cap, which is the tiny little white one. So this way it's going to be a lot easier to put the 3 drops that we need to put into the cassette, and we're not going to be putting the whole amount of the solution. So we're going to put the drops, 1, 2, 3. And we cap it again. and we put it aside. And now we wait 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, we're gonna see that the liquid that we put is gonna start rolling here, and we have 2 liters. People might be wondering, what are the 2 liters mean? Well, the C letter is for the control, and the T is for the test. At the end of the 15 minutes, we already waited. We have our test, which thankfully, after all these 15 minutes of suspense and watching the line to see which one is gonna be colored, we see that this test is negative. How do we know that it's negative? Well, we see that there's a very dark pink line on the C, which is a control, and there is no other line on the T. Again, if you remember the pregnancy test, when we have the line on the T and the line on the C, that means that it's positive, but thankfully this test is negative. And with that, we finish our video. Hopefully you'll be able to do your at-home test that you have received over the mail, and hopefully everybody's negative.